And we're back. Scott Millan, Big Dog Steve.
What's up?
Good time, Greg. So, as we left off before, we want to kind of get a better feel for who we have in our studio today. Scott, how old are you right now?
31 years old.
You're 31.
I can't hear myself.
Me either.
No, I can hear you guys.
You're tuned up. There we
I'm
go.
31
Boom.
years old
Okay. And you live?
in Yonkers, New York.
And you're a master trainer.
Thank you. I wouldn't have called myself that, but all right, cool, yeah.
It's true. So
We'll call you that.
what I want to know, Steve wants to know, how did you get into personal training?
Well, to be honest with you,
Everybody's got their story.
it was the reason I got into it was very different from the reason I got deeper into it.
Gotcha.
So I kind of started thinking, I kind of like this kind of stuff, and I want to have fun with it and make a living doing something that I like to do. That's fun, you know. As I got more involved in it and got deeper into it and more educated and more experienced, that's when I really came up with my purpose of I really want to change the way the average person views fitness and conditioning and strength and conditioning and training. I want to change the culture of the fitness world.
Right. You have so far.
I've been trying.
So you were in the Marines. Were you ever really active before you went enlisted?
Like I played a couple sports in high school, nothing serious. I was always really bad at team sports.
Bad
I was
team
the kid on the
sports?
baseball team that would get yelled at by the whole team and everything. I was bad at team
Did
sports.
you have a strict workout regimen or no?
No. Back then I didn't know what I was doing.
A little bit here and there, right?
Yeah, a little bit here and there. When I was getting ready to go to boot camp for the Marines, that's when I started really going to the gym more. And even then, I was lifting weights, like the normal bodybuilding type stuff, which does absolutely nothing to prepare you for Marine Corps boot camp. And then it's after that I really kind of got into training more and actually doing like the hard physical stuff.
So you went to boot camp. You were in decent shape.
Yeah, decent.
You got tore up in boot
Got
camp.
toe up.
Shredded.
Yeah.
Shred sauced.
Well, I came out about this thin. Everyone comes out of boot camp skinny as hell. No one really gets shredded.
So you're skinny.
Yeah, skinny.
You did your stint, as they say.
Yeah, I did my stint
in the military.
Yeah.
You get out and you're like, now what do I do? Right? The carpet's pulled out from underneath you. What do you do?
Yeah, actually, that's like could be a whole nother episode. It is kind of rough, I learned nothing job-wise in the military that I could do in the civilian world.
No, right.
I
Just
loaded bombs
respect
onto
your boss,
jets,
pretty much.
Yeah,
I know.
And until they start putting like missiles on airliners, I was like, there's nothing I can do. But then, a lot of different little things that you don't really realize you learn, like leadership and discipline and dependability and how to be a team player and all that stuff that, the job skill of whatever job you're trying to get is really the only thing you're missing is how to do that one job. Right. So when I got out, just because I could talk to absolutely anybody, I was 22 years old. People thought I was a lot older.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Just because I could just talk to people, I guess.
Yeah. You're comfortable talking. Yeah.
And so I got a job doing like sales.
Okay.
Only lasted a little while. It was a very, very small company. I also did security for a couple months after that.
Okay.
That also didn't last that long. Then that's when I ended up looking into the whole fitness deal and just started to get into it. And I was having fun working out. I said I want to help other people do this. I see a lot of guys in the. I used to go to one of those big, meathead pump and iron gyms.
Yeah.
And with the kind of place where it wasn't very welcoming at all. If a guy was bigger than you, that meant he was. Obviously, that means he's tougher than you, which means he has the right to those weights. Don't even touch those weights before I get over there, punk. You know what I'm saying?
I wouldn't be touching any of that.
And I was just like, this is come on, And so I was like, you know what? I'd like to be a little more welcoming and kind of help people out. I moved back out to where I was stationed. I was in the Marines, Yuma, Arizona, and I started working at a gym out there. Then that's when I started getting more into. That was the first fighting gym I ever worked at. So I started getting into, training fighters and training myself, doing Muay Thai and Jiu-Jitsu and stuff like that.
Right. I assume
And
that's a whole different kind of training.
Whole different kind of training.
Is that when your
Yeah.
mind
Right.
really started to change?
Yes.
In regards to all this.
100%. Absolutely. So yeah, I tried to get into Muay Thai because I was trying to impress this girl, but that didn't work out. But I ended
Who
up
was this
like
girl?
Isn't that how
falling
Who
in
was
love
this
with
girl?
her.
Who was this girl?
A girl I was like in love with when I was like 23.
You loved her when you were 23?
I thought I did. I mean,
So you're fresh out the military, you're like, oh, I gotta, impress
Yeah,
this chick with Muay
and
Thai.
she was my girlfriend for like 2 months, and then
Yeah. And then you
I
fell out of
thought
love.
maybe because she did Muay Thai. That was the thing. She did Muay Thai,
Yep.
and she had like bruises all over her legs. I thought it was the hottest thing in the world, and that's how I like found out what Muay Thai was. And then when I moved back out there, I saw they had like a gym there. I went to go work there to maybe do kind of like some kind of strength and conditioning thing with the fighters, and I started training there. And I thought maybe, oh, she lives around here. She might walk by and see me in a bag or something, and she's gonna come in and beg for me back.
So you got
It
you
never
got
happened.
inspired.
It never happened.
You got inspired by
Absolutely.
a female.
Yes, and
Which
you
is
know
totally
what? And
okay.
that,
Whatever
that
drives you.
literally changed my life.
Follow your drive,
So-
not your passion.
Exactly.
You were driven because of this. You did it,
Yeah.
and here you are now.
Yeah.
So, all right. And once you started, who was your first client? Tell us about that. How'd you first tell me about your first experience getting paid to train somebody.
I was at a gym in
Mm-hmm.
Yuma, Arizona. Now, important thing you need to know about Yuma, Arizona, it's
Enlighten
one
us,
of the
please.
lowest paying places. Very low cost of living. Also, one of the worst places to get a job, to try to get a job in America. I loved it there, though.
Yeah.
It's like the third fastest growing city in the nation, though, so that might change now. So I started at one of those little 24-hour gyms where just people go and chug away on treadmills and use machines and stuff.
Yep.
And I think my first client ever was the sheriff of the next town over.
Really?
That's
Yeah.
that's a
How old?
that's
Middle
like-
age?
Yeah, maybe 50, 40 something or 50.
What did you do?
Uh,
Where were you? You were at a gym,
What? Yeah.
and you brought him in, and what? You just went through some exercises, right?
Yeah, very,
So
very
how many-
basic
how
stuff.
many years
I
did you
didn't know
go?
what I was doing.
How many years
Yeah.
did you go with the traditional training routines till you were
Not-
like, you know
not
what?
long.
I got to switch this up. This is bogus.
Yeah, it wasn't long. It was within the first year, I went from working at that place, which is very traditional, the kind of thing you're talking about, and then also at the same time working at that fighting gym where I was doing all the fun stuff.
So what I want to know
Um,
is like, it seems like you've created your own style of fitness. Like there's no one out there that does it like you. What's the name? What would you name your? You might not even thought about this because you probably haven't been aware of this. But if you were to come up with one, what would you call it?
I would call it just training for life.
Training,
I don't really know.
training
You're
for
right.
life.
You're right. I haven't really thought of it because to me, it's just.
I mean, you realize
it just
that,
makes
didn't you?
sense. You know, it's.
I know you're unique, Scott.
Oh, thank you.
Well, don't thank me. Thank yourself. You're the one that put yourself here.
You know, I think of activities that you could be doing, physically demanding activities you could be doing in everyday life, and I say, how can we make that into an exercise? You know, I like at Fight Club a few weeks ago, I had that big bar we have where you can like pick it up and walk with it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the
Greg?
yoke machine
Yeah,
or something like
yeah,
that.
the yoke
Yoke walk, yeah.
I had set that up, and I was training a girl, and I had her just jumping over it like it was a fence.
Yeah.
You know, as instead of resting after doing like a sled push or something like that. You know, just as if it was a fence, jump up and over it like a bar. Do that like 10 times. Boom, run around, do it again. Run around,
Right,
do it
because
again.
like the thing
Stuff-
is, she could be walking down her sidewalk, and some guy's like, "Hey, come help me find my dog," and she wants to run away from this guy because she feels creeped out.
Something like that.
And
yeah.
sometimes you gotta hop fences if you want to run away from people.
That's you know what though? You know
a
what?
real life
And
scenario.
so check this out. When I say that to people, right? Like let's say we're doing ladder drills, some agility drills on the ladder, and I say, listen, this is going to. Most people don't want to hear this crap. They just want to work out, So, but I'll explain it to them. So listen. Think about when you're about to step into the street and a milk truck is about to hit you. You got to jump back onto the curb. I said, that's agility. That's what we're training for right here.
Yeah,
And it's
you know,
true.
you'd be surprised.
And they
if
say,
you
well,
do
how
it.
often does that happen? And I'm like, well, it might not
Hey, you
happen,
never
but
know.
when
You
it
know how many-
does,
It's like buying an insurance policy for yourself.
yeah, the one time it does happen, you get one chance to.
Right, right.
The one time it does happen, it's big. So
I'm starting to develop a word here, like situational structured situational something fitness exercise.
Structured.
Yeah, we're gonna by the end of the show we're
We'll
gonna
have a
create
marketing
Okay.
plan.
we're gonna
Okay.
create a name for your style of coaching.
All right.
All right, that's
I think
cool.
we're
I
onto
like it.
something here. Yeah.
I mean, I usually think about it more of as just like physical education for adults.
Yeah.
You know, like gym class.
I mean,
That's the way I
that
think
sounds
of it.
like fun to me. That's something that I'd sign up for. Just I think of like I enjoyed gym when I was a kid. Like I'd rather
Who's
do
gym?
that. No, you know, like you know what I mean.
Oh.
You walked into that one.
Yeah, you know what I mean.
That was good.
No, I'd much
Yeah.
rather do that than have somebody like, all right, come to the gym. We're gonna have a trainer. We're gonna do the usual, you know, push-ups, pull-ups, bar lifts, stuff like that. Like,
Yeah.
personally, I'd rather just have fun with it.
Well,
Like, I'm not a gym person, so I
Yeah.
want to enjoy.
Well, and you know what the thing is too is that I think the kind of place where I run into barriers or resistance is with the people who are already gym people that have already been
Right.
doing it another way, right?
Right.
So you'd be easy because you admit you don't know anything and
Fresh
you just want to
plate.
learn
Right.
and you want to
Fresh
have fun.
plate.
So you're a blank canvas.
Blank
You know,
canvas.
that's what I have the most fun with, and people who have kind of already been doing it another way, or I had this trainer who told me this thing, or blah blah blah, or if they've been reading, whatever,
Fitness
fill in the
books
blank
or-
fitness
yeah.
magazine or fitness blog, or they've been watching the infomercials for the shake weight or something. It's like most of the
machine.
stuff that people know about
So
in
befo-
fitness, the
before we
average
go to
person
break
is like
here-
not correct.
It seems like the general consensus is that people just are so unaware
Absolutely.
of what they're doing, like what they need for their body, what they're putting in their body. They're unaware of what they're putting in their body, and their resources as far as fitness. Like they're so blind to all this type of stuff.
Kind of, yeah.
So how are we going to create awareness for these people, Scott? Like, what are we going to do here? What's the
I
plan?
think we're doing it right now. Hopefully,
What's the plan?
I hope that's one of the things we're doing right now.
Beyond this
Well-
radio station, beyond these walls.
I also
Scott.
I have some articles that I write.
You
kinda
write
like
articles.
Training, yes.
Where
Yes.
can I find these?
I have them in the notes section on my Facebook page and on my fan page. I have when I've worked at other gyms, we kind of sent them out to the members and stuff like that as little like monthly newsletters and things like that. I have videos that I post of you guys training. I got a bunch of videos of you training, Greg,
You do.
that I post out
Alright.
there in Facebook land.
Okay.
And I have like a whole. I think my memory is almost out on my phone because I have so many videos of people training at Fight Club that I just need to. I think I'm gonna put together and edit it into like an iMovie thing.
Yeah.
I just put it out there,
Okay, well, hold that thought. We're going to go to commercial break again, and we'll be back after these brief messages.